All right, we have a math test this week. You'll find that online. We should put it in your dojo. We may also put it in the slides, a link to it. So I'm going to start off by reviewing for your test. Now, your test is not going to look like the test we normally have because we put problems online that you're going to be working. However, I am going to work different sections to help review for your test. Do you have to take the test today? Absolutely not. As long as your tests are all done, taken, and by Sunday. Sunday is the last day, so if you get behind or you want to practice, maybe you say, I'm struggling with this concept, you're welcome to practice it and study it as long as you take your test by the end of the week. All grades will be entered from Sunday, so everything has to be in by Sunday. So you don't have to take this test today. After being out 2 weeks, we'd like to give you some review. So we're going to work some of these problems together, although we're not actually giving you this exact test. Some of the problems from this test will be on it. So let's review. So if you were taking this test right now, we would start with the story problem. It says solve the problem. Carly earns $3.75 per hour helping her parents' dog grooming business. If she works 2 hours every Saturday for 5 Saturdays, how much will she earn? Okay, we need to find the facts first. Fact 1 is she earns $3.75 per hour. I'm going to write it out here. Now this is every hour. And then we need to find out how many hours she's working. So we are seeing here that she's working 2 hours every Saturday for 5 Saturdays. So there's 2 different ways you can go about this. You could go ahead and say 2 hours each Saturday and say, okay, that's 2 times 5. What is 2 times 5? I heard you say it in my mind. I know that probably every one of you said 10. So that's going to tell us how many hours she worked total. Now to find out how much money she made, we're going to multiply 10 times $3.75. So times 10, which is rather easy. You remember when you multiply times 10, you add a 0, but we also are using money, so we have the decimal point. So you're going to have to go ahead and I would just go ahead, the short way would be to add the 0, and then since you have money, you have 2 decimal points. Because 10 times any number, you add a 0 at the end. Because we have 2 decimal points, because we have dollars and cents, you have to also have 2 decimal points. So the answer here is $37.50. Now, you could work it a different way. You could say, well, I wouldn't. I would work it this way. All right, because we know 10 times any number, you add a 0 at the end. Just remember, when you have money, you have that decimal point, you have two places, and you have to put the decimal point there. You don't have to label because your label is already here. It's at the dollar sign. All right, follow the signs here. What I'm going to say is make sure that you circle your process. You could circle that. That will help you not to get in a hurry and just add or subtract, but circle the process. Here we're going to subtract. Now let's work this one. $100 minus $93.49. Okay, we have all these zeros. We have a 9 in the pennies place. So we're going to have to go all the way over here, which that would be 0, make that a 10, cross it out, make it a 9. A quick way would be just to go ahead and cross those out, because this one's going to get the 10. You're going to borrow from each 10. I could go ahead and put the 10 and cross it out. So 10 minus 9, 1. Now pause it, keep it right there, and write that down and work it. Okay, let's see if you have it right. 9 minus 4 equals 5. Bring down that decimal point. 9 minus 3 equals 6. 9 minus 9 is 0. And 0 minus 0 is 0. It's not necessary to put that, because 0, 0, 6, and 51 is $6.51. Make sure you pull down your dollar sign. All right, when you're multiplying, remember to carry. Let's go ahead and do this one. 5,270 times 9. Okay, let's multiply that. 9 times 7, what is it? Okay, 63. Now, if you want to pause it and go ahead and work the rest of it, then just check it with me. That'll be great. Okay, here we go. 9 times 2 equals 18 plus 6. What is 18 plus 6? Well, since 8 plus 6 is 14, then 18 plus 6 is 24. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 2, 56. 9 times 5 is 45. 45 plus 5 is 50. Do we have any decimals? No. We do need to put our comma in. 1, 2, 3, comma. 50,643. All right, now we're going to work F. You can actually write these down and practice them as well, although I'm not going to put the answer key up for these because some of these are actually on the test, so I'm not going to put the answer key up for these. All right, let's look at this. The first thing we have to know when we add or subtract in fractions, we have to make sure that the denominators are the same. So let's check. 10, 10, and 10. Yes, they are the same. So we're going to add first. Always add in the least value first. So our fraction is the least value. So 3 plus 3 is? Yes, and plus 1 more is? If you said 7, you're right. Write that over tens because all of these are the same size pieces. They're cut into 10 individual pieces, so it's 7 tenths. Now go ahead and add in the ones place. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 3 is? Yes, 10. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3. 30 and 7 tenths is your answer there. Now let's look at this one. This one is a subtract. I forgot to circle my process there, noticing that this is times and not subtract. Here's subtraction. So first we have to make sure our denominators are the same, and they are. So if I have 2/3 of a pizza and I eat 1/3, 2 minus 1 is 1, and then you're going to put the 3. And then 6 minus 5 is 1, 1 minus nothing is 1, 11 and 1/3. Okay, let's do this one. Can 9 go into 5? No, it can't. 9 is larger than 5, so you cannot divide it evenly. So we're going to go ahead to the next digit, and we're going to say 52 divided by 9. So let's go ahead and think what can go into 9, or how many 9s can go into 52? Well, 5 times 9 is 45. So what's 6 times 9? Right, 6 times 9 is 54. 54 is too large. So we can't go in 6 times, so we're going to have to go in 5. Now, write with me or say with me the steps so we don't forget. The first thing is divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. So we've already divided, now we're going to multiply. 5 times 4 is, we already said is 45. Now we need to subtract. 2 minus 5, we can't do that, so we're going to have to borrow. 12 minus 5 equals 7. Now compare, is 7 less than 9? Yes. Since 7 is less than 9, we're going to go ahead and bring down the 0. Now, how many times will 9 go into 7? Actually, not 7, but 70. 70 divided by 9. If you said 6, you would be wrong. That's not enough. Because we just 6 is 54, and it's going to go another time. So what's 7 times 9? 63. All right, let's try that. So that's divide, multiply. 7 times 9 is 63. Subtract. 0 minus 3, you can't do that. So subtract and make that a borrow, make that a 6, make this a 10. 10 minus 3 equals 7. Compare, is 7 less than 9? Yes, it is. Now, do we have any more numbers that can be brought down? Yes, we do. Let's bring down the 2. 72. Okay, well, we had 7 times 9 is 63. So let's try 8. What's 8 times 9? Well, if you said 72, you're right. Let's try it. 8 times 9 is 72, and subtract. Is there anything else to bring down? No, there's not. Now, just a really quick review before we check this. Remember that when you multiply 9 times a number, let's look at this pattern. So 0 times 9, of course that's 0. 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 9 equals 18. 3 times 9 equals 27. Let's look at this. Let's start with 2 times 9. What's 1 less than 2? 1, right? If we say 1 plus 8, we're going to get 9. 3 times 9, what's 1 less than 3? 1 less than 3 is 2. If we add and say what plus 2 equals 9, we're going to have 2 plus 7 equals 9. The answers, the sum, always equals 9. So watch this. 4 times 9, what is 1 less than 4? Okay, 3. What plus 3 equals 9? If you said 6, you're right. So 4 times 9 is 36. 5 times 9, what's 1 less than 5? Because you know 10 times 5 would be 50. So you don't have enough to make it that same, but you're that same family because you're 1 short. So what's 1 less than 5? If you said 4, you're right. Now what plus 4 equals 9? 5. Let's look at this one. 6 times 9, what's 1 less than 6? 5. What plus 5 equals 9? 4. Notice how if you add, this one doesn't count because that's none. But 9 plus nothing, 9. 1 plus 8, 9. 2 plus 7, 9. 3 plus 6, 9. 4 plus 5, 9. 5 plus 4, 9. Notice that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one's going to start with a 6, isn't it? 7 times 9. So what's that going to be? 6 plus what is 9? 3, 63. This will go all the way up to 9. 8 times 9. What's 1 less than 8? 7. 7 plus what equals 9? 7 plus 2. 9 times 9. What's 1 less than 9? 8. 8 plus what equals 9? 1. Look at this pattern. 1, 2, 3. This one actually would have a 0 in the tens place. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9. If you wrote 10, you still works for 10 actually, because 1 less than 10 equals 9, and what plus 9 equals 9 is 0. 11 is just the 99, and those you have to memorize. But that's a short way to help you with your 9s. And sometimes I use it now. Someone tells me, what's 8 times 9? I automatically think, well, 7, 2. What's 9 times 9? Well, 8, 1. Because I remember 1 less 8 and then just add 1. That's an easy way to help you remember your 9s. Now let's check it. Remember when we check it, we're going to multiply the outside numbers. 578 times 9. 9 times 8, ooh, what's 1 less than 8 is 7. 72. 9 times 9 times 7 is 63, but we're adding 7, so that's going to be 70. 63 plus 7 is 70. 9 times 5 is 54. 54. Whoops, wait a minute. It's 45, I missaid. 9 times 5 is 45. 45 plus 7 is 52. And let me erase those borrowing marks, and there you go. It's the same. Okay. Now let's look over here. I'm not going to do all of these. I just want to help you remember. Remember when we have a fraction of a number, we're just dividing. So 56 divided by 8, and that's what you're going to do there, which is 7. 1/2 of 16 is 16 divided by 2. 1/3 of 21 is 3 divided by 21. Same as there. Reduce to lowest terms. Here's where you're finding the greatest factor that will go into both the numerator and the denominator. If you have, a lot of times we'll start with the numerator. If 5 will go into 25, then I'm going to know that's going to work for both of them. So here we're dividing by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Here we have 4 and 12. 4 will go into 12, so you can divide both of those by 4. But let's look at this one. These have some common. They're both even, so we know 2 goes into both of them. And 3 will actually go into it also. But 6 will go into 48. So you want to divide by the biggest number that will go into both of them. The greatest common factor is actually what it's called. So 6 goes into 6 one time, and 48 divided by 6 is 8. Okay, same thing here. Here you won't be able to use 6 because 6 can't divide evenly into 9. However, 3 will go into both of those. Now, what you can do is come back and review this slide several times so that you can get this lesson and be ready for your test. When you can do all of these and feel comfortable, then you'll be able to take your test. You don't have to take your test a day. I wouldn't advise taking your test a day because you've been off for 2 weeks. Give your brain some practice. And over here, the Roman numerals. Oh wait, I missed up here. Mixed number. Remember, a mixed number is when we have a whole number and a fraction. So 5 and 7/8 is your fraction. And then write the Arabic numbers. Arabic just means the numbers we use. So these are Arabic numbers. These are Arabic. These are all Arabic numbers. We use Arabic numbers. Here we're counting by 10, 20, 21, and 22. Go back in your book and review the values of these. Remember that I is 1 and V equals 5, 10, X equals 10. Then we had 50. Did I miss something? No. L is 50. And C is 100. D is 500. And M is 1,000. And remember the rules. You can only use 3 in a row consecutively. However, all the ones that have the 5s, you may not use those in a row. You may only use those one time. So 4 and 50, if I was going to write 15, I would not write V, V, V. I would have to write 10 plus V, 15. So the ones that have a 5 cannot be put in a row. The other ones can. Then when you put a lesser in front of a greater, you subtract. So let's find one. Like right here, this is a 10. But you say, well, wait a minute, isn't that after? So it wouldn't be 11. You're going to say 10, and then you're going to put these two together. 10 plus 9 is 19. Let's look at this one. 10, 20, and then we have 25, 26, 27. Let's look at that one. That is 150, so that's 150. Okay, and that's all we're going to do on that one. And we're going to go ahead and look quickly at your today's slide, your today's page, and this right here is just getting you ready for your test. But today, normally we have a test and then we have just kind of a fun worksheet. So let's look at that worksheet after I get this erased. Mrs. Quilty, will you put the worksheet on for today? Now the other day, I remember teaching you about plotting. This kind of reminds me of playing Battleship. Have you ever played Battleship? I have the Battleship game, I like it. So we're going to plot the points, and remember first count across, then down, or then up. So across is first, then up is next. So 3, 1 is going to be 1, 2, 3, and then up 1. Okay? Do these the same. You're going to go over first, then up. Then you're going to make your plots. Then you're going to follow these instructions. Draw a line from point A to point B. Use a straight edge. Use your ruler. Then they're asking you, what is the picture in the graph? I want to see if you get that right. The moon is the only place other than Earth where human beings have been. Have you noticed that in our arithmetic class, we've switched to having space as our theme? And this is a fun activity. Draw a cube. How do you draw a cube? You're going to follow the instructions right here. You may use your ruler. First, you're going to draw a square. Then you're going to put another square on top of the other one. And then you're going to draw lines to connect the vertexes. Remember, vertexes are your points. So you draw a line to connect the points, which are called vertexes, and there's your cube. Okay, then it's going to tell you color the faces yellow and trace the edges blue. Follow this. Actually, I would like to see if some of you do this and it looks really good and you feel like you got it all right. Take a picture of it and put it in your profile picture so that I can see that you did a great job on that. All right, well, have a good day. Stick with your work and be a responsible student.